That's an insane position to take.
It is.
Guess what? Joe Rogan is pointing all 10 of his fingers at Oprah Winfrey.
What do you really want? What do you really want?
Quite recently, the people of Maui underwent a tragedy that not only shocked the world, but left many people displaced and without a place to live. Of course, as expected, Oprah Winfrey, along with Dwayne Johnson, jumped in to help the affected. But that didn't sit right with many people, including Joe Rogan. Why, you ask? Let's find out. Not long ago, Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson joined forces to help people in Maui, Hawaii, whose lives had been destroyed by flames. The pair have set up the People's Fund of Maui, which will give money directly to the people. Winfrey and Johnson even gave $10 million to start the effort.
We have created the People's Fund of Maui that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it right now.
But that's not all there is to it. At least that's what Rogan likes to think. During a recent episode of The Joe Rogan Experience, well-known podcaster Joe Rogan and former U.S. Representative Tulsi Gabbard sparked a passionate call to action in support of the people of Maui, particularly those who live in Lahaina. Their heated debate shed light on a disturbing truth, which is that there is a growing danger of ancestral lands passing into the control of third parties such as the government, as well as affluent real estate investors and developers. And just to make sure you're on the same page, he's talking about Hollywood elites like Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne Johnson.
I hope they fight because I'll put my net worth.
Now, the aftermath of terrible wildfires that ripped over Maui, leaving its population defenseless and in need of care, serves as the setting for this gripping drama. Of course, right now, the priority should be to provide people with aid and shelter, but some people, and again, by that we mean the A-listers, are looking at this vulnerable time as an opportunity to steal land that should legitimately belong to the people of Maui, taking advantage of the entire situation. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan, who is widely regarded as a voice of reason and curiosity, was never one to sit quietly and watch the world go by. As a result, he brought out troubling charges, claiming that evil forces were at work, striving to gain control of this paradise that had been destroyed by fire.
No. I don't talk in paragraphs. I make full points.
Surprisingly, Tulsi Gabbard, who served as the representative for Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District from 2013 to 2021, corroborated Joe Rogan's assumptions right there on the broadcast, using her first-hand experience in the role, confirming the role the elites are playing.
The fears that the people in Lahaina have, some of whom, like Archie Kalepa, famous surfer, community leader, Native Hawaiian leaders, family has lived in Lahaina for 9 generations, now being told, well, the state, the governor is looking at taking that land, taking ownership of that land.
Of course, the moral anger that was expressed by the show's guests is what really attracted the attention of the general audience. The idea that the recent flames on Maui may be used as an alibi to convert the site for uses such as workforce housing or a memorial was passionately opposed by Joe and Tulsi, as well as by other individuals. They even believed that such suggestions were not only unethical, but also marked a clear assault on the rights and independence of the people living there for years. Not to mention, the conversation has sent shockwaves through the public, and many people are startled by the arrogance of anyone who would propose acquiring this land in the aftermath of such a horrible tragedy. It was seen as a misuse of authority and a complete disrespect for the deep pain that the people of Maui had been going through at the time. According to Joe, the rallying cry to protect their paradise needs to gain momentum, bringing together many individuals' voices in a concerted protest against the infiltration of the legitimate homes of the people of Maui before the Hollywood elites take it from them. That said, Tulsi Gabbard went the extra mile to show her support, which was a powerful gesture, given it's the A-listers she's taking a stand against. She figuratively and practically stepped on a jet, bridging the gap between Maui's main airport and a smaller one that was closer to the region that was impacted by the fire, and brought with her the essential supplies that the neighborhood desperately needed at that moment. But amidst this backdrop of struggle and resilience, a high-profile land acquisition by none other than Oprah Winfrey captured headlines towards the end of the previous year. The media mogul paid a solid $100,000 for each of the 2 plots of land that were 10 acres in size. As a result, this purchase prompted a variety of responses from local citizens, some of whom stated concerns about the possibility that native Hawaiians could be displaced even more as a result of this ownership. It is also significant that Oprah's land holdings on Maui, which were already quite substantial, had now grown to approximately 1,000 acres. The question of why the government did not investigate the possibility of utilizing some of Oprah's extensive land holdings for the benefit of communities that were impacted by the fire was what aroused public outrage and discontent. And now, the fans are taking it upon themselves to expose her actions. Many people even had the impression that this was a sensible option, one that was very readily apparent and ready to be investigated. Of course, that has not been done.
Well, maybe.
Why would anybody be paying money for people to lie about the world spinning?
On top of that, the experts agree that the Hollywood elites are opportunistic since they take advantage of the weakness and desperation of the people whose lives have been upended by the fires. Then again, the local authorities have started to take action against what they consider to be exploitative business practices after realizing that there is an immediate need to protect the rights and interests of these residents who are in a difficult position. Of course, it's not only a fight for property. It's a fight for justice and fairness in the face of hardship as well, and people seem to be quite ready to face whatever is coming head-on. On the island of Maui, there are some courageous people fighting to preserve the land, some of them who are openly stopping Oprah from entering their homes and lives. They have made it abundantly obvious that Maui is not up for negotiation at this time. Not to forget, to further back Joe's claims, a video team from CBS that was accompanying the famous media mogul Oprah Winfrey on her tour to shelters for survivors of the Maui wildfires found themselves unable to enter the facilities. That's right. Even then, Oprah wants us to look at the other end of the spectrum. Anyway.
So all of the online, being
slander and
attacks, lies, conspiracy theories, really took the focus off of what was the most important thing, and that was the people of Maui. So
the incident occurred on August 13th, when Oprah made her way to these shelters, a moment caught in the media spotlight. Now, you must be wondering, what's so big about that? Well, the fact that Oprah's presence caused an exception to the rule that media outlets were normally allowed to cover the scenario is the surprise component of this story. In general, media outlets were authorized to document the situation. However, it would appear that the officials implemented a stringent no-media restriction expressly for the talk show icon, which prevented the talk show icon's camera team from entering the shelters. In spite of this, the county of Maui took to Facebook to express their gratitude, acknowledging Oprah's visit and her careful direction to media journalists and camera crews to remain outside the shelter premises. Like, sure thing. While many people in the media believe that Oprah's acts stem from her generous spirit and empathic temperament, still a portion of the local community can't help but wonder whether or not there might be an element of intentionality at play in this puzzling circumstance. Out of the many individuals who didn't buy this act of generosity, one expressed, "Someone said something about her crazy Brazilian child trafficker. Let's not jump to conclusions, all while more women were abused. No thanks. She is a satanic Zionist elite. Don't defend her." Similarly, another outraged individual went all out, stating, "Then Oprah Winfrey turns up at a survival shelter with a film crew to film her donating supplies. How mighty generous of the billionaire." But that's not all. Another person jumped in claiming, "Americans, how did Oprah Winfrey go from small-town Mississippi to receiving the Barack Obama Presidential Award? Along the way, she's also racked up $2.5 billion, and AMP is so dialed into the deep state that they can destroy an entire island, Maui, but leave her home untouched. How?" And while that's all for today, do let us know about your take on the entire scenario in the comments below. Make sure to hit the bell icon so that you can catch us soon.